Hi everybody, my name is Samyah Layton and I want to welcome you to my brand new YouTube channel, I Don't Sugarcoat. This channel is geared towards people who are currently living the ketogenic lifestyle or for people who are looking to get started. Now through this channel, I want to take you along with me on my journey as I continue to work towards reaching my goal weight. I want to share with you my experiences and the highs and lows that come along with the keto diet. I'll also share with you a ton of recipes and some of my favorite products that I feel has helped me get to where I am today. If this interests you, please watch the whole video and I will tell you how I lost 139 pounds in a year. I guess I should start off with telling you a little bit about myself. I'm 38 years old, I'm a wife and mother of 4, and I was not always heavy. I didn't struggle with my weight when I was younger. I don't have any hereditary issues that I know of in my family that causes any kind of weight problems, and I don't have a lot of obese people in my family. I fully own and take responsibility for the fact that I ended up morbidly obese. And it was that acceptance that helped me to get to a point where I could get started on making a change. By acknowledging that I had a problem, I was able to fix it and work on it. Food was not my issue. I'm not a foodie. I do have some favorite foods and things that I appreciate, but I'm not a foodie. So food wasn't how I ended up getting fat. My problem, my crutch was soda. And it was my crutch for many, many years. And sometimes I feel like people don't talk enough about soda addiction. And maybe some people don't feel as though it's a real thing. But I can assure you, it is real. It's a real problem. And it's something that I struggled with for many years to quit. I didn't start putting on weight until I was around 21 years old. From up until that point, I stayed roughly around 150 pounds. Now, when I turned 18, I had my first son, and I was young, full of energy, and it was, if you have kids, that even the first child, you can find that it's a bit tiring and it's a lot of work. But when I turned 20, I had my second son, and that's when I realized just how much work children were, because now I had 2 of them, and it was like nothing I can explain. I was tired a lot. And when you're constantly taking care of people and doing something for someone, I just didn't have a minute for myself. And not that I'm complaining, I would gladly do it again, but I wasn't equipped with how to manage things. And I just didn't know how to be able to make time for myself, to take care of myself the way I should. And that's no excuse, but I'm just telling you what was going on in my mindset. So I'm 21, and at this point, I'm just feeling really, really drained. I've got 2 little kids, and I'm just not sure what to do. And I don't remember what I saw or where I got the idea from, but I remember finding out that caffeine was a way to keep you awake, give you extra energy, that type of thing. And I'm not a coffee drinker. I've never been a coffee drinker. So I did know that soda, specifically Coke and Pepsi, had a lot of caffeine in them. And Pepsi was the one that I preferred the taste to more than Coke. I know a lot of people say they taste the same. I beg to differ. But I started drinking Pepsi heavily. And I was already drinking sodas. I'm like anybody else. I enjoyed the taste. But before I got the idea in my head to drink soda for the effects of caffeine, I was drinking a variety of flavors at that time. But once I started specifically drinking them for the benefit of caffeine, I strictly drank just Pepsi. And so now I'm drinking Pepsi all the time, and it's working. I'm staying up, but I'm also crashing hard at night. But I'm finding that the trade-off seems better to me because it's like I'm able to stay up all day and be with my kids, and then I crash at night when I put them to bed. So I feel like the trade-off is worth it, right? And so this becomes my thing. Now, I should say at this point, I still drink water sometimes. So, and I do mean like sometimes, as in daily, I will have a cup of water. But by the time my third child came into the picture and I was 22 years old, that's when soda became my primary way of getting fluids all day long. I completely stopped drinking water and it was just soda all day long. And by this time, I'm completely hooked. And I'll tell you right now, I didn't even know I had a problem. So I'm drinking soda all day, every day, 24/7. And I'm at a point where I'm still feeling tired, but it's still manageable. It's doable. And I'm thinking that the soda is helping me. It's working. And so I'm just drinking it all the time. And I remember I started to feel sick one day and I tried to drink some soda and I just couldn't. It made me feel worse. So I get some water. And so I realized slowly I'm starting to feel better after drinking water. So I spend the day drinking water and I'm feeling better and I'm feeling better. And then once I feel like myself again, the very next day, I'm back to soda. And it's soda again, 24/7, 24/7. Well, I start to realize that a pattern started to emerge. I could go like 2 months or maybe a little more without having a drop of water. And I could drink soda every day, all day. And then once I would start to feel sick, I knew that it was time for me to replenish my body. I needed some water, and I'd take a day, I'd drink some water, and then the cycle would just continue. It would just start all over again. And I'll tell you again, I didn't realize that I had a problem. It didn't seem like a problem to me. I felt like I was getting a good trade-off. And at no point was I really thinking that I was doing any damage or any harm to myself by, pumping this much sugar into my body. Not even when I started to put on weight did I contribute that to soda at the time. For me, it was, well, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I don't get to get out as much as I used to because when I was younger, I loved to walk. I loved to be out. I was always out and about. So now I'm not as active as I used to be. And I know you're thinking that might be crazy since I have 3 kids, but you've got 3 kids at home, each one needing something different at different times of the day. You might have 1 napping or 2 napping and 1 is up. So, it wasn't a whole lot of time for me to get out and do anything. And that's what I contribute my weight gain to. And there were a lot of times where, I would not eat sometimes, but I felt like as long as I had my soda, I was okay. And I would just drink soda all the time, all the time, all the time. And I don't think I realized I had a problem until I'd say 2013. And I started heavily drinking sodas in 2001. So it took a long time before I realized that I had a problem. So we'll fast forward to 2013. Now, by 2013, I have gone from weighing 150 in 2000 to weighing over 200 pounds in 2013. And I can remember clearly stepping on a scale that year because by this point I had been avoiding scales as I was avoiding mirrors because I knew I was gaining weight, and to look in a mirror meant that I had to confront my problem. And so I wasn't trying to do that. And in my bathrooms, for my couple different apartments that I lived in, the mirrors stopped at about right here. So I could see my face, but not my body. And that made it easier for me to avoid the issue. It really did. And it was easy not to step on a scale. I just didn't do it. But for some reason, I got up the nerve to step on the scale in 2013. And I remember clearly seeing that it said I weighed 287 pounds. And the funny thing is, I actually breathed a sigh of relief because I was thinking to myself, at least it's not 300 pounds. I could still fix this. Like, that's what I told myself. At this point, I'm 137 pounds overweight, and I'm thinking, at least it's not 300 pounds. You know, like, I'm a skip away from 300 pounds, but I'm not ready to confront that problem. And I'm definitely not ready to give up soda because at this point, I'm realizing that soda is contributing to my weight gain. Now, a couple months later in that year, I fell down a few of my stairs in my house and I hit my tailbone really hard on the ground and I hit my back on the bottom stair. And this started me having back problems, having back issues. So going into 2014, I'm not able to move around as much anymore. And now I'm starting to have to be stationary and stay still because of my back problems. And even though I know this, I'm still not giving up soda. And so I'm still drinking it. The only problem is now I'm even less active. So now I'm putting on weight faster than I had the previous 12 years, where it took me 12 years to gain 137 pounds. It took just 4 years for me to put on another 100 pounds. So, well, almost another 100 pounds, I should say. So now comes 2017. And you know what? Let's go back to 2016. It's 2016, and I get the courage again to step on a scale. And I step on a scale, and I remember just feeling, just really disappointed in myself at this point because it said I weighed 312 pounds. And for me, that was the crusher because I was over 300 pounds now. And that was something I was hoping never to get to or thought that I would ever get to. So, I got off the scale and I'm like crushed and I'm like so upset with myself. But then, I don't know what happened, but something in my mind goes, well, it's only 12 pounds over 300. You can lose that. You can fix this. And then I'm okay again. I'm fine. I'm okay again. And I go and drink more soda. Like, that's what it was. And I started to realize that when I would feel bad or when I would feel down, I would drink soda even more. So now I'm not using soda for the caffeine anymore. Now I'm using it because it makes me feel good. It's giving me this little bit of euphoria when I'm feeling down or feeling out. So now I've got another reason to drink it, because what other reason can I justify to myself for drinking it? My kids are getting older. I don't need it as much for caffeine. So now I'm getting pleasure from drinking it. So this gives me a reason to continue on. And so I do. And now we go to 2017. And in 2017, my husband gets a transfer. And we move from Missouri to Texas. And when we get to Texas, at first I'm like really miserable when we first get here. And, it's like nothing's familiar. I don't know anything. I'm just feeling really miserable. And then I go to their grocery store, and I don't know what it is about Texas, but they have amazing deals on soda here. And I thought, wait a minute, I'm in heaven now. Like, they had the best deals on cases of sodas. that I couldn't get in Missouri. So now I'm happy again. Now I'm feeling that sense of euphoria. And so I go and buy a bunch of soda and I start drinking it. And then I get to a point where I'm like, what are you doing? Like, seriously, what are you doing? Did you just get happy because you could buy a bunch of soda? And I just had that moment with myself. And the only thing I could think to do at that time when that realization dawned on me that nothing was giving me joy in my life at the moment other than soda, I just had to turn to God and pray. And so that's what I did. I prayed and I asked God to please take away my taste for soda, the joy and the liking of it. I prayed that he would do that for me. And I know there are some people who, might not be believers or whatnot, but I'm going to tell you as true as I can to my story that a couple months after I prayed, I remember that I tried to drink some soda and it tasted like acid. It tasted like pure acid, and I thought I had a bad bottle. I opened another bottle. I don't like the taste. So I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe this is new. Maybe this is different. Maybe I need to drink some water today. So I drink some water, and then I go and try to drink soda the next day, and the same thing happens. And so now I'm like, what is going on? Like, what's the problem? And I'm taking a bath, and it finally dawns on me that I got exactly what I prayed for. I had prayed to take the taste of soda away from me. And there I was, I couldn't stand the taste of it. And I took that moment and I decided to run with it. So I stopped drinking soda. I'm done with it. Like, it was literally immediate, like that. I'm done with the soda. I'm not drinking it. But I do start drinking juice. Now I'm telling myself this is better than soda, but it's not. It's got just as much sugar, but I'm not paying attention. I'm thinking I'm doing better than drinking soda. So I'm drinking juice, but now I've got the courage to look at myself in the mirror, guys. And for the first time, I take a really good look at myself in the mirror, and I see the damage that I've done to myself. So I decide that I'm going to step on a scale. Like, I've got to know if I'm going to confront this, if I'm going to make any change, I've got to get on the scale. And I get on the scale, and it says that I am 376.8 pounds. And I couldn't believe it. Like, I had gotten myself to almost 400 pounds. And there was no excuse, like, there was no excuse for it. So, unlike this moment right now, I decided not to cry about it. I'm like, okay, you know what? Change. You don't like it, change it. And so I start doing my research. I start researching, I start looking, I start trying to find anything that will help me to begin to lose weight. And surgery was something that I was considering, but not something that I really wanted to do, because I felt like, I had gotten myself here and I should have to work hard to lose this weight. Not to say that getting surgery is easy, and I do not judge people who go the route of surgery, because sometimes that is your only option. But for me, I wanted to work to lose the weight because, I just felt like that was the best way to go for myself. So I find out about keto, and I'm reading everything I can about it, and I'm liking everything that I'm hearing. And I'm like, I think I can do this. And I'm reading the list of things that I can't eat anymore. No bread, no pasta, no fruit mostly. A lot of vegetables were off the list. So there's a lot of no's. But like I said before, I'm not a foodie. So giving up most of that stuff seemed pretty easy to me. I don't like fruit for the most part. I guess it's texture. I can tolerate grapes. Sometimes I can stomach apples, but like I just don't like fruit. Now I can eat some cooked fruits. Like I like apple pie, but fruit for the most part is just not for me. So giving up fruit was not a big deal. Vegetables, most vegetables I did not like, so that was not a big deal for me. So keto seemed like the best option for me, and I was really pumped and really excited about it. So I go to bed that night after doing a ton of research on keto, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get started. And I wake up the next morning, and now I've got all this doubt happening. Like, is that really gonna work for me? Like, I've got a ton of weight to lose. Am I really gonna be able to lose weight? I'm also 36 years old. You know, like, is this gonna work? Am I gonna be able to do it? And so now I've got all this doubt happening, and I'm just like, maybe I shouldn't try it. Maybe I should just wait. But then something was like, do some more research. See if you can find people on YouTube who have done keto. And so that's what I did. I went looking on YouTube, and I found people on there, and I was mostly looking for people who had a lot of weight to lose, because those were people who were in my shoes. And I found some people who were awesome enough to share their story. And it just was amazing, because these people had lost, someone had lost over 100 pounds. Someone had lost 90 pounds. This one lady was working towards losing 200 pounds. So I'm like, oh my God, these people have done it. So can I. And with that in mind, I started keto on December 29th, 2018. And I haven't looked back.
Thank you guys for watching this video. Please continue to part 2, where I explain how I got started with keto. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe, and click that little bell so you can get notifications when I put out a new video. Until next time, bye.